If you've been around Grace Family Church for any length of time, you'll know this. We don't just attend church, we make room. Room for God to move, room for people to belong, room for lives to be changed. We are one church in many locations. And this year, together, you made room in extraordinary ways. Our digital campus reached far beyond walls. People gathered online every Sunday, and the gospel truly crossed borders and screens. Led by incredible digital hosts, serving with love and care every single week. Because church can happen anywhere. You made room to make a difference. Through missions and justice, 16,052 people were reached through our partner organizations. 1,040 people were served at the street school. 1,536 buckets of hope reached over 4,600 lives. With 2.6 million rand worth of food and aid, hope was made tangible. Every number tells a story. Every story has a name. And every name matters to God. Now to Him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine. Grace Family Church, you made room. One church, many locations, making room together.
Hey family, welcome to our digital campus. I'm Michaela and I'm so glad you're here with us today. Whether you're watching live, catching up later this week, or maybe tuning in from somewhere in between, we just want you to know that you're part of this family. And we love getting to do this journey with you. So no matter where you're joining us from today, this is much more than just watching a service. You're part of a community, a mission, and a story that God is writing in many ways we don't always get to see. One of the beautiful things about Grace is what God is doing here doesn't just stay here. We get to be part of something so much bigger, reaching beyond our walls, beyond our cities, and into the lives of people and churches in powerful ways. And today, we'd love to give you a glimpse of that. Check this out.
Hello everyone, my name is Wayne Taylor from Grace Family Church in sunny Durban, South Africa.
My name is Pastor Gift, all the way from Lighthouse Church, Ireland.
This is Matt Johnson from Journey Church in Murray, Kentucky.
Hi, my name is Rich. I'm from Lakeside Church in Southport in England.
It's Paul from Life Connect Church down in Georgia.
This is Bright Doe from Agape House New Testament Church in Accra, Ghana.
My name is Andy McQuaid with Lake Oconee Church in Greensboro, Georgia.
My name is Jonathan Gula. I'm the pastor of Suncoast Church on the beautiful Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Australia.
Mountain Family Church in Ensenada, Baja California, Mexico.
I'm David van Schuur from Agape Gemeente in Rustenburg.
This is Pastor Jamie Corcoran from Lighthouse Church in Ireland.
Hola, yo soy Roberto Bautista de Vida In Monterrey in Mexico.
Chris Ladd here from Church Home in the beautiful city of Cape Town.
This is Sam from Lighthouse Church, Dublin.
My naam is Jaapie de Bruin en ek is van die Vriend van God Kerk in Malmesbury.
Stan Sweetman here from Life Point Church in sunny Queensland, Australia.
Thiago Cata, eu sou da Igreja Rede de Indaiatuba, Brasil.
Bill Willis from North Point in Atlanta.
Mordai Steenekamp hierso van Mpumalanga, Nelspruit.
My name is Darius Prinsloo. I'm from Ritmia Gemeente in the West Rand.
This is Eric Stanzone from Grace Bible Church in Virginia.
I'm Tian from Waypoint in Quebec.
I'm Martin. I'm one of the pastors here in Lighthouse Church in Ireland.
I want you to know that you are part of something bigger.
The Irresistible Church Network globally.
You are a part of inspiring churches around our land to be irresistible.
What you do each day in your church, investing, creating environment, serving, hosting, is part of not just impacting your community locally, but it's doing something that's nationally and now impacting globally. Thank you so much for being a part of that.
How incredible is that? It really is such a privilege to be part of something so much bigger than ourselves. And here's the amazing part. Through your generosity, your serving, and your heart for people, you are part of that story too. Every prayer, every act of faith, every yes to what God is doing, it all matters. Today, you're helping bring together hope, strengthen churches, and make an impact far beyond what we can see. Today is a special day because Ramon is wrapping up our At the Table series, and he'll also be leading us through communion together. So wherever you're watching from, this is your moment to lean in. If you'd like to take part in that, press pause and grab something for communion. Bread, crackers, or juice, whatever you have with you. Because Church Online isn't about sitting on the sidelines, it's about being part of what God wants to do right where you are. We're so expectant for what's ahead today, so stay with us.
I don't know about you, but I've started to notice in the world that we're currently living in that there doesn't seem to be a space anymore for the dining room table. Our dining room table is always covered in school books and laptops and projects. And instead of sitting at the table as it was intended for, we're eating on the run, over our computers, while standing up or staring at our phones or on the couch as we watch TV. In a world that has so many ways to be connected, why do so many of us feel so alone? It sometimes feels like our souls are actually starving for a seat at a table that perhaps most of us have stopped setting. Join us for this conversation at Grace Family Church over 4 weeks at the table. We've saved you a seat.
Have you ever been in a room full of people and still felt completely alone? I'm pretty certain you possibly have. I can remember I was about 18 years old. I was at a house party. Music was blasting and there were drunk people everywhere. Everyone was having what looked like the absolute time of their lives. And as I mentioned, I was there. I was taking part. I was in the middle of all of it. But for some reason that night I was sober. One of the only sober people there that night, and I remember standing it was actually in a backyard, standing on the lawn, looking at everything around me that was going on. And all of a sudden I felt something I did not expect to feel in that environment. I felt completely alone. Not because no one was around me, because everyone was around me. But in that particular moment of clarity, I could see something that the noise and the drinks were covering up for everyone else. We were all there, we were all together, and none of us actually knew each other. Not really. I mean, we knew names, we knew faces, but the version of us that was actually struggling, actually afraid, actually crying, actually anxious, actually carrying something heavy, that version was completely alone in a room full of people. I had everything I thought I wanted in that moment, on that night, and all I felt was utterly alone. I've never forgotten that feeling. And I've never met a person who did not know exactly what I was talking about, who did not feel that at some point in their lives. See, that feeling has a name, and it's not weakness, it's not a character flaw, It is one of the most human things there is. And the woman at the center of our story today felt exactly the same thing. Except she felt it standing outside a tomb, alone, before sunrise, while everyone else had gone home. Her name is Mary. And what happened to her next is one of the most important things I think any of us, as whoever of us are watching, can hear today. We've been in this series called At the Table. We've been looking at the meals that Jesus shared with people in the weeks between his resurrection and the moment that he left, what we call his ascension. Today we come to one of the most intimate encounters of all. And there is no food in this story. There's truly no table. There's no meal, but it's powerful. And here's why it's powerful, because what happens here is what every meal is really trying to do. Now, the author of the book of John, this dear friend of Jesus, he recalls what happened. And for those of us who are maybe not very familiar with the Bible, John is one of the 4 accounts of the life of Jesus written by people who were either there or were close to people who were there. John goes on to recall this. He says, "Now Mary stood outside the tomb crying. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb and saw 2 angels in white seated where Jesus' body had been, one at the head, the other at the foot. They asked her, 'Woman, why are you crying?' 'They have taken my Lord away,' she said, 'and I don't know where they've put him.' At this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not realize that it was Jesus. He asked her, 'Woman, why are you crying? Who is it you're looking for?' Thinking he was the gardener, she said, 'Sir, if you've carried him away, tell me where you put him, and I will get him.' Jesus said to her, 'Mary.' She turned toward him and cried out in Aramaic, 'Rabboni,' which means teacher. Jesus said, 'Do not hold on to me, for I have not yet ascended to my Father. Go instead to my brothers and tell them I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God.' Mary Magdalene went to the disciples with the news, 'I have seen the Lord.' And she told them that he had said these things to her. I want to show you something in this passage that just a couple of things that are easy to miss if we just kind of read through it quickly, which we do so often. First, I'd love for us to just notice where Mary is. She's outside the tomb. Everyone else is already gone. Earlier on in this same chapter, it tells us that Peter and John came running to the tomb, looked inside, saw empty grave clothes, and went home, back to where they were staying. They processed the information and they left. But Mary, she stayed. In fact, she cannot leave. She just stands there outside, weeping, alone. Now, I don't want to be unkind to Peter and John, because honestly, I mean, what do you do with an empty tomb? Let's be honest. What would you have done with an empty tomb? They were confused and they went home. This is understandable. But what this means is that in the moment the risen Jesus first appears, Mary is the only one still there. And she's in pieces. She's not there because she has great faith. No, she's there because she can't leave. And if you've ever found yourself in this place, you'll know that grief does just that. It roots you to the spot even when everyone else has moved on. And I want you to notice something quite important. The very first person the risen Jesus chooses to reveal himself to is not a leader, not a theologian, not the most composed or the most together person in the group. No. It is a weeping woman standing alone outside a tomb who thinks she has lost everything. That tells you and me something quite remarkable about who Jesus is and what he considers worth his time. And now look what happens next. Mary looks into the tomb and she sees two angels. They ask her, why is she crying? She tells them someone has taken the body of Jesus and she doesn't know where he is. Then she turns around and Jesus is standing right there. She doesn't recognize him. In fact, she thinks he's the gardener, the caretaker. He then goes on and he asks her, why is she crying? And who is she looking for? And she says, sir, if you, as the groundsman, as the gardener, if you have taken him away, then tell me where you've put him and I will go and get him. And then Jesus says one word to her. Mary. Mary. That's it. Just her name. And she knows immediately. The text says she turned to him and said, Rabboni, which means teacher. I mean, all she responds with is one word, because one word was all that she had left. I mean, I've read the story so many times, and that single moment still stops me. See, Jesus doesn't open with an explanation. He doesn't start with theology. He doesn't say, it's me. Do not be afraid. Let me explain what has happened. No, he just says her name. And everything that had been closed for her breaks wide open. Now here's something worth knowing. In the ancient world, shepherds were recognized by their sheep, not by what they looked like, but what they sounded like, by the sound of their voice. And Jesus himself, earlier on in John's gospel, he said, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. See, Mary didn't recognize Jesus by his face. She recognized him by the way he said her name, which means he said it different from the way anyone else had ever said it. He said it like he knew her. Like she was not an interruption or a burden or a problem to be solved. No. He said it like she was the exact reason he had gone to that garden at that specific moment. He said her name like she was seen. And here's the question I want to leave with you in this moment. When was the last time someone said your name like that? Now, I want to show you something that is hiding in plain sight in this account of the life of Jesus. Something that the writer of John included very deliberately. See, where does this happen? This whole encounter takes place in a garden. The Bible, the account of Genesis, begins in a garden. In Genesis chapter 3, it describes God walking with Adam and Eve in the cool of the day. It's one of my favorite pictures in all of Scripture. I mean, just God and mankind just present together, talking. It is a picture of what life was designed to look like. No walls between people, no hiding, just the ease, just ordinary togetherness of being fully known and fully alive. And then something breaks. And the very first consequence is not death, but it's hiding. They feel shame and they hide from God and from each other. And the pattern of hiding that started in the garden has lived in every human heart ever since. I mean, the entire story of the Bible is a story of God inviting us back to walking with Him in the garden. And now here, in another garden, Jesus does exactly that. He comes to find the one who is hiding in grief, the one who's alone, the one who thinks the story is over. And he calls her by name. The first garden is where the loneliness started. This garden is where it ends. See, this is not an accident. This is the whole point. I want to tell you about a woman named Rosario Butterfield, because I think her story is Mary's story told in modern clothes. Rosario was a professor at a university in America. She had a PhD, a tenure position, by all accounts, a full life. She was also a committed atheist and one of the leading academic voices in a field that actively challenged traditional Christianity. She did not just disagree with Christians. She thought they were wrong and she thought they were harmful. In the late 1990s, she decided to write a book about Christians in America. She wanted to understand the opposition, so to speak. So she reached out to a local pastor named Ken Smith to use him as a research source. So Ken invited her to dinner, not to debate, not to have a formal interview. No, just dinner at his house with his wife Floy, with whoever else was around that evening. They would just sit and have dinner, and Rosario came. She sat down at the table. She argued. She pushed back. She pushed back hard. She was not polite about it. And Ken and Floy were not rattled. They just kept feeding her. They kept asking her to come back. They kept treating her like someone whose presence at their table was a gift, not a threat. Month after month, year after year, they just kept inviting her. And after approximately 500 meals at that table, Rosario Butterfield surrendered her life to Jesus. 500 meals, not 500 sermons, not 500 arguments, no, 500 ordinary evenings around a table where two people kept saying her name like it mattered. She later wrote that she was saved by God's grace working through the hospitality of her neighbors. She found at a kitchen table in Syracuse what Mary found in a garden outside Jerusalem. Someone who kept showing up. Someone who kept saying her name until she could finally hear it. I believe that there are two kinds of people that are watching this right now. The first is Mary before her encounter. You are outside the tomb right now. Something has closed off in your life, and you do not know how to get back inside. Maybe it's grief. Maybe it's a relationship that fell apart. Maybe it's a version of yourself that you lost somewhere along the way. Maybe you're carrying something you haven't told anyone because you're not sure this place, these relationships are safe for you to share it. You're sitting, showing up. You're still coming, but you feel like you are on the outside of something everyone else seems to have found. I'd love you to just hear this right now. You are not watching this by accident. And the thing I want you to hear most right now from Mary's story is that Jesus did not wait for Mary to figure it out before he came to find her. He came in the middle of her confusion, before she had any good answers, before she had stopped weeping. He came to her exactly where she was. He will do the same for you. And he already knows your name. Second kind of person is Mary after the encounter. You've had your own garden moment. You know what it's like to be found. Something that was closed before has broken open, and you remember what that felt like. The very next thing that Jesus says to Mary, right after he says her name, is this. He says, "Go tell my brothers." Go tell my brothers. He sends her back to the table. See, guys and ladies, you were found so that you could help find others. That is not optional. That is the whole point of us being found by Jesus. So here is what I'm asking you to do this week. Just one thing. Think of one person, just one person in your world who is standing outside the tomb right now, lonely, not quite okay, but pretending to be okay, at least well enough that most people might miss it. You probably already know who it is. Like there's a name that has already come to mind. And you've already started negotiating with yourself about whether you have time, or whether it would be weird, or whether they would even want to hear from you. Just say their name. Send a message. Make a call. Just show up in their lives. Not with a plan or an agenda or a perfectly prepared speech. No, just the willingness to let them know they have not disappeared. You see them. And if you have a table, why don't you open it up this week? See, it does not have to be impressive. It does not have to be a dinner party or a big elaborate bride. No, it can be as simple as just a coffee, a takeaway on the couch. The point is not the food. The point is the act of saying, there is room for you here. You are worth sitting down with. Because this is what changed Rosario's life. That is what changed Mary's life. Not a program, not a perfect plan, just someone willing to show up in the place where the lonely person was and say their name like it meant something. In a few moments, we're going to do something together that the church does regularly. We're going to take communion, which is just bread and something to drink, and I have some here with me. And if you'd like to go and get something right now, you're welcome to just hit pause and go and fetch something. It comes from a moment that we looked at earlier on in the series, the last meal that Jesus shared with his dearest and closest friends before he died. See, he took bread, he broke it, and he said, "This is my body, given for you." He took a cup, and he said, "This is my blood poured out for you." And then he said, "Whenever you do this, do it in remembrance of me." So that is what we're going to do. We are remembering him. But here is what I want you to understand about this moment in the context of everything that we've talked about, especially today. Communion is not a religious performance. It is not something that you have to be good enough to do, or have everything sorted out enough, or creating enough religious jargon to come and participate. No, the same act that happened in the garden when Jesus said Mary's name is the same act that we are taking part in here. When you take this bread and cup, Jesus is saying your name because he did this for you. Not the version of you that performed well this week, not the version of you that has all the right answers and all the right beliefs or all the right form of living. No, just the real version of you, the one standing outside the tomb before sunrise, the one who is at the party feeling alone in the crowd, the one who has been looking so hard for something that they could not see it even when it was right in front of them. That is who this is for. See, Rosario Butterfield sat at a table 500 times before she heard her name. Maybe today is the first time you're sitting at this one. That is okay. You are exactly where you need to be. But I want you to know that the table has room for you. It always has. And that has been the whole point of this series. The table is not for people who have it together. It's for people who need to meet with Jesus and to hear him say their name. which is every single one of us, including me. So right now, with that in mind, we eat, we drink, we remember. Father God, I thank you, Lord. Lord, I thank you that you went to the greatest lengths to communicate your love to us, Lord. Lord, that you meet us exactly where we are. That just like Mary, the way that Jesus met her in her grief, that you come and meet us in our grief. In her aloneness, that you come and meet us in our sense of being alone, Lord. Lord, and that as you meet with us, you welcome us into a new life, to a life of freedom, a life of community, a life around a table where we can find friends, find love, find care, where we can find you. Lord, will you give us the courage to invite others to come and sit around the same table where they can find you, where they can hear you say their name in a way that they feel matters. So Lord, grieving hearts, lives that feel lonely, we commit them to you right now. Will you meet with them right there where they are? Will you meet with them? Will they just gain that sense of you saying their name? Because all of this you have done for them. We thank you for that in Jesus' name. Amen. Jesus came to a garden to find one woman who thought she had lost everything. He said her name, and she found her way back. See, there's someone in your world who needs you to say their name, to invite them in to a table where they can meet with Jesus and hear their name. 500 meals, one garden, one word. It always starts with someone willing to say a name. And this bread and this cup is Jesus saying yours. We're going to go into a time of worship right now. And worship extends beyond songs, and we'll get into some songs, but worship also extends into our giving. Why? Because worship is it's a holistic praise to God. It's a holistic way of living with God, which includes my whole heart, which includes my giving. So today, if you just want to come and continue in worship with us, and if you'd like to come and give, then right now is your opportunity to do so. There'll be a link in the chat that you can follow. But as we progress from there into song, I'd love for you to just take a moment and sit. Maybe listen to the words of the song. Maybe if you want to sing with and you know the song, sing with. But in that moment, maybe you also just want to be still and just ask Jesus to meet with you right there and to say your name. We love you. Thank you for being with us today. We look forward to seeing you again next week.
Eternal spark, I call you healer. You can mend any broken heart. I call you faithful Father. You finish everything you start. My soul was made to respond. I know you by 1,000 names. are King forever, the beginning and the end. You are Lord and servant. You're the Son of Man. You're the